Hi, my name is Dr. David Fears, life coach, author, and metaphysical teacher. But I'm just one of the dozens of teachers here at the School of Multidimensional Healing. This school was founded by visionary Jerry Woods with the passion for building a community that is helping to shift the consciousness of the planet. The School of Multidimensional Healing is here to serve the practitioners, students, teachers, and those who are becoming aware of the integrity, the power, the validity, and the importance of the various modalities of alternative healing, as well as personal and spiritual growth. Learn about the vast array of classes, lectures, healing sessions, and our monthly fair at smhas.com. This show is called The Interview, or Viewing Within, and it is our intention to showcase the people behind the professions, the titles, the certifications, and the degrees. And our guest today is Frances, and she is like a rock here at the center and at the school, and I'm just really jazzed to have her here. Hi.
Hi, good to see you.
Good to see you as well, Frances.
Always welcome.
Frances, what is your modality of healing? What is yours?
I do channeling,
Mm-hmm.
and for those who don't know what channeling is, it's when an entity comes through me to speak, and I put myself aside and I allow their voice to come through my voice box.
When did you first find out that you had this ability to open up and let this entity come through, or these entities?
I started taking classes about 7 years ago, and I started with meditation, automatic writing, which is where you write after meditation, and then the next step was the channeling. And it was amazing because it was right there. It happened very quickly, and I channel many different entities, and if you have a question, you come to me, and the channel gives you your answer, not me. And so I love it. I just love it.
Yeah,
And
it
it's
shows.
helping people,
Absolutely.
and that's important.
Speaking of helping people, this helped you though, didn't it? This spiritual path that you...
Absolutely, yes. Almost 9 years ago, my son passed away unexpectedly of a heart attack, and I needed somewhere to go. I needed somebody to surround me. And immediately, psychics were everywhere I went. I know this person and I know that person, and somebody would say, I do automatic writing, and I thought, what's that? So he spurred me on my journey, kept me on my path, and miss him always, but feel blessed that I'm here and that I'm doing my work.
Absolutely, and he also has probably come through many people that you've gone to tell you that, right?
Yes.
And you're always open to that energy.
Yes.
So how do people, you're in touch with this consciousness, which means that we're not separated from anything, are we?
No,
We're all
not at all.
connected,
We're
and
all
that's
connected.
the gift, isn't it,
Mm-hmm.
in this process. So prior to this, though, were you ever aware that you had this connection, or were you aware of things outside of you when you were younger?
I was aware,
Mm-hmm.
but I usually ignored them, like most people do.
Okay.
An incident I had, I threw the kids' laundry into the washer, and I heard clanking going on, just a little clanking, and I thought, it's the buckles. And when I took the laundry out, there was my watch right at the bottom of the washing
Oh my
machine.
goodness.
So if I would have listened like they wanted me to, and taken everything out, looked through it, I wouldn't have washed my watch.
And it wouldn't have taken a licking and kept on ticking.
It wouldn't have. It wouldn't have. You're right.
Absolutely. Now, I happen to know, because we've talked before, that there was an incident early in your life where you were in an accident.
Yes.
You want to talk about that?
It was probably about 16 or 18 years ago, and I was in a car accident. I was out driving in a neighborhood I didn't know, and there'd been a huge accident in the intersection. And so I pulled up to the policeman, and I told him I was lost, and he showed me the way to get out of where I was. And I thanked him and pulled into oncoming traffic and got hit.
Wow.
And it totaled my car. but I did walk away without a scratch. Now, I felt this really loving energy from this policeman, and I wanted to flirt with him. It was so beautiful, and he was so good looking. Well, after I got involved in all of this wonderful work that goes on at this school, I finally was writing one morning, and into my head came that incident. And I said, please tell me if it was you. And I was writing the name Jared. And as I wrote Jared, saying, yes, it is me, I already knew.
Mm.
And that's when I discovered, and it was only about 4 or 5 years ago that I discovered that I had had an incident with my angel. And he had saved my life. And I had been knowing that I was going to have an accident for about 10 days.
Wow.
It was in my consciousness. I knew it was coming, and I would tell my boys, make me slow down at the school. I don't want to hurt anyone. So I had dropped him on the school, gone on this errand, and that's when all of this happened. And so when I first tell the story, and it sounds like, why would your angel shove you out in traffic?
Yeah.
He was putting me in the right place at the right time with the right love. And as I turned around and kept looking for him at the scene, he had disappeared. So he did his job and he left. He was not directing traffic. He was standing there waiting for me.
Wow. So, in that process of not having a scratch on you, yeah, so maybe you just needed a new car.
Maybe.
Something. Yeah. That's beautiful.
But I loved my car. I hated to get rid of it.
Did you get another one?
Yeah, we went down and picked out another car, and he said, do you want to drive it? And I said, no, I don't want this car. But I have to have a car, so I'll take it.
Okay. So listen, how did you run into the school? How did you find the school?
A friend of mine was working here, and she was kind of crafty. And she said, why don't you come and have lunch? And I said, okay. So I went down to have lunch with her, and she said, this is Jerry, and he owns the school, and will you channel for us? And I said, okay. So we had a channel session, and then we went out to lunch, and I thought, if I volunteer at the school, I won't have to pay rent for a room for my channel class.
Mm.
I thought I was going to teach channeling. And I thought, what a great way for me to pay for the room. I didn't have the extra cash at the time, and so I paid for the room by volunteering. And it has snowballed. And I'm here 3 days a week, and I get to meet wonderful people, such as yourself,
Yeah.
that
I'm the one that's blessed.
are just so spiritual and so gracious and so loving, and the energy in the building, I can't wait to get here.
That's beautiful. And Frances, you've been here almost as long as Jerry. You two have been here the longest, right?
Yeah, right.
So tell me about your vision and your passion for seeing the school the way you want to see it. What do you see the school doing? Because it's growing so fast. How do you see it? What do you want to see?
I want us to have the ability to help others. From the bottom of my heart, I want to help others heal. And that's what happens here, is that you come, you take a
Absolutely.
class, you learn a modality, and then you heal others.
Or you come to the fair and you find the professionals of modalities that can help you heal yourself, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So the psychic development class, we're learning healing modalities, just simple techniques. Or even learning meditation, to me, is a blessing in my life, because that heals me too. And sometimes when I'm writing, I hear a little voice in my head that says, hi Ma, it's me.
Mm.
And then he sends me a message.
Oh, how beautiful.
Yeah.
How beautiful.
Yeah.
And this gift that you have, really everyone has it, but to different degrees, right? And a lot of times people that have it are afraid of it because of what? Why do you think people won't allow the gift to come out or play with it?
Well, many people have been taught that doing spiritual work like we do is angering God.
Oh,
I thought so myself at first.
okay.
Many years ago, my folks had a seance at the house. I didn't know they were even interested in this kind of thing. And I went to it, and I was really frightened. I had a great conversation about religion, and all of a sudden we're in a seance, and I thought God was going to strike me.
Mm.
And when you get involved in this, and you see that it's God's energy that makes us all so beautiful, there's religious, people channel Jesus, there's all kinds of wonderful religious things going on here.
Mhm.
But they're not in the building. They're not asking for you to act a certain way.
Mm.
You get to be you, and I think that's just the most important thing.
Beautiful. Well, I'm so glad you are you, and you're a good example of someone being themselves, and I really appreciate knowing you and for you being in my life. And this school is really, really benefiting because of your energy and your fire. So
Thank
I want
you.
to thank you very much, Frances.
Thank you.
Namaste.
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 Namaste.